Namaste. Ninth class students, welcome. In the last class, we have discussed first lesson, our Earth. Our Earth, in the part 1. In that lesson, first we will recap what we have discussed. In that part, we have discussed what is the shape of the Earth and what revolution, rotation, and about universe. What are the things present in the universe? And in the olden days, scientists used to think that sun, stars, and other planets are revolving around the Earth, and Earth in the middle. So after some years, they have realized that no, Earth is not in the middle, sun is in the middle, and the stars are standing very stably, but no sun and stars are moving. Our Earth is moving around the sun. So in that topic, we have discussed the revolution and rotation also. So after revolution and rotation, we have discussed, this is the sun. This is the sun. So around the sun, Earth is revolving around. So I told you that what is the way the Earth is revolving. On which way the Earth is revolving? This way. This way is called as orbit. I told you already. This path on which the Earth is moving around the sun, way. This path or way is called as orbit. Orbit. Here, now we will calculate the speed of Earth, how it is revolving around the sun. So here we already discussed that one revolution it will take. One revolution it will take 365 by 4 days in our daily life. So 365 and 1 by 4 days it is taken to complete one revolution around the sun. So then what is speed of moving of Earth? What is per hour? For 1 hour, Earth is moving 1 lakh 7,200 100 kilometers per 1 hour. For 1 hour, Earth is moving 1,07,200 kilometers per 1 hour. It is moving. That means the speed of Earth is it is very high. So this is speed of the Earth. The Earth is moving for 1 hour 1,07,200 kilometers. 1,07,200 kilometers. So here the farness and the closeness of the Earth towards the sun is the farness is 1,57,000 and the closeness is 1,42,000 kilometers. So in this way, Earth is closer and farther from the sun. So next, coming to the evolution. How does the Earth made? So we all saying that comparing to all the planets only on Earth there is life. We know that, we are discussing. But so to come to the conclusion that there is life on the Earth, this conclusion is not didn't came very easily. After so many searching, so many questions, that means so many questions, after searching, developing the searching, then we got the answer that there is life on the Earth. And before 220 million years ago, 220 million years ago, the Earth is a rocky planet. There is no life on it. Normally the basic needs which the human beings want is air, water and food. So these three things are not there on the earth before 220 years millions ago. So at that time earth was only filled with only gases, rocks and so many collisions, cyclones. In this way earth is filled with this one. So after some years, the years going on, the earth which is moving around the sun, the scientist who's known as Alfred Wegener, he is the geographist, meteorologist. He is the person who explained us about the earth from before days, from the ancient days. What is the position of the earth and what is the movement of the earth? All these things are explained by him, Alfred. So he also prepared one document or a theory which is called as continental drift. Continental drift. In this continental drift, Alfred scientist he described in the ancient days, before 220 million years ago, earth is lifeless. There is no life on the earth. Simply it is filled with rocks and gases and it is moving around the sun like other planets. Going on, there was only one land which is called as, this land is called as Pangaea. This land is called as Pangaea. Only one land is there and the other thing which is filled with the water. This water body is called as Tethys Sea. Tethys Ocean actually. Okay. Only one ocean, one water body was there, that is Tethys Ocean around the land which is flowing. And the only one land which is called as Pangaea land. This land, going on after some years, this land used to move from one place. This land used to move from the place and it started dividing into, it was divided into some pieces of land. And after the dividing also, each piece is to collide with other like this. These collision, these dividing, all this was taken a lot of years time, millions of years. So this Pangaea land was divided into firstly two lands. This Pangaea land was divided into two lands first. First one is, this one is Angara land. After dividing, Pangaea land was divided into two lands, that is Angara land and Gondwana land. Angara land and Gondwana land. These lands, this one is north place, this is the north space, this is the southwards. In this America, North America, Russia and Europe were there. Here Africa, Australia, Antarctica, India was there in these parts. So after some years again, this northern part, here we told no, one part and here other part. So this Gondwana land which is in the southern part of the earth, this Gondwana land again started moving. These land started moving towards the northern east. That means here. This came here, and again after coming here, this was collided with these Angara land. These Angara land is stable here. These Gondwana land started moving to the east and northeastern part, that means beside here, this one. So in the after coming to here, this land came to collide this land, collide this like that. Here it is like this. So when the two lands are collided with each other, again the land is divided into some small pieces. After colliding with each other, then the continents on the earth was formed. So what is the earth now? It's a oceans, continents are there now, which are now we are seeing. These all was happened after the collision of collision of two lands called as Angara land and Gondwana land. So after collision of these two lands, the two lands, both Angara land and Gondwana land, both the lands divided into some small pieces. Some pieces used to go very far because of pressure. So then the continents which we are seeing on the earth now, all these continents are formed because of this collision, because of this. So this is the formation of the continents, oceans, which we are seeing now because of this collision. All this description, all this explanation was in the theory called as continental drift. Who was described? Alfred Werbsch. So this, and now we will see how many parts are there in the earth. What are the parts of the earth? First of all, we will see. Until now we have discussed that earth, around the earth, universe, how the earth was formed. So now we will discuss that what is the matter which is present inside the earth. We can know about our surroundings which are present, but the thing which is present inside the earth, how we can find what is there inside the earth. The next question is this. So we have to find, again we have to search what is there inside the earth. So by searching it, we got known that there are three layers which are present inside the earth. So firstly, if you are having textbooks, means you can see the diagram in your textbooks. See, this is a crust of the earth, that means the upper layer, crust. The thing which we are walking, which we are doing agricultures, all the things we are doing, this is called as crust of the earth, crust. And the second part which is called as mantle. And third part is called as core. So now we can ask that you are showing the picture that 4 parts, but you are saying only 3 parts, teacher. Here crust means the thing which is the complete from upper layer to the inner layer core. There is up to here there is 6,000 kilometers from the upper layer to the inner layer. The kilometers is 6,000. The distance of the upper layer, upper surface terrain of the earth to the inner core is called, there is a distance of 6,000 kilometers. 6,000 kilometers. These 6,000 kilometers we will divide according to the parts of the layers. So here core is secondly core is divided into 2 parts again. upper core and inner core. Upper core and inner core. So outer layer of the core is called as upper core. Innerly deeply is called as inner. So here upper and inner. Upper and inner. Both the cores are there. So here these cores, coming to the division of the crust, 30 kilometers to 100 kilometers. Mantle is 100 kilometers to 5001 kilometer. Sorry, 5100 kilometers. Core is 5001 kilometers to 6376 kilometers. So here one more doubt we can say. Teacher, you said that from the surface to the core there is only 6000 kilometers, but you are writing here 6376 kilometers. So what is the difference here? What is the difference means? We can't say that it is compulsory perfectly, it is only 6000 kilometers. We can't say in that way. So here approximately we are finding it. That means we are finding it approximately, but it is not perfect thing. That is the first thing. So that's why we here for telling here 6376 kilometers we can say. Why? Because here about the upper layer of the crust, earth is crust, I told you 30 kilometers to 100 kilometers. Here rocks, hills, mud and some water bodies, all these things we can see on the earth. Now what we are having, what we are using. Coming to the mantle. Mantle is somewhat liquid area. In this liquid area there is silicon present in this area. Silicon was present in this second part of the earth, and third part, both are the cores only. Here by going into the side of the by traveling inside of the earth will get very hot. There will be so much temperature inside the earth. That's why we all know that due to the increasing of the temperature, the solid items will change into the liquid items. Solid items will change into the liquid items. So that means we can say that the core which is present here inside this is completely liquid, hot burning liquid. How we can see when the water is boiling on the gas at the 100 degrees, how the water will be boiled. In the same way, the core which is present inside the earth is always burning in a high temperature. And one more thing, if there is any liquid means we can't say that this is the ending point of the. We can't say that this is the ending point. We can't say. That's why we can't say that there is ending point here. In the core we can't find any ending point. That's why approximately we are saying that 6376 kilometers inside. Upper layer, here upper core is present with iron, liquid iron and nickel also. In the inner core is present with liquid iron and gold also. So these are the things present in the parts of the layers of the earth. So coming to the next thing, there are different layers present on the earth. So what are the layers present on the earth? Firstly we will see. So this is the earth again. So there are 4 layers on the earth. First thing, lithosphere. Second one, hydrosphere. Thirdly, atmosphere. and fourthly biosphere. So we will see in a brief way. Firstly, lithosphere means litho. Litho is a Greek word. Litho is a Greek word which is called as rock or stone. So the upper crust of the earth is present with stones, rocks. So that's why these mountains and hills, these stones, the stone layer, the hilly and mountain layer which is present upper part of the earth is called as lithosphere. Litho means stone. Litho means stone or a mountain or a hill. So it is a strong part. So this upper crust which is present on the earth is covered with lithosphere, with hills and rocks. Secondly, hydrosphere. Hydro is also a Greek word which is known as water, liquid. Hydro means which is called as liquid. This liquid is also present on the earth. We all know that there are 4 to 5 oceans on our earth, and which is also frozen rivers on the earth. All the part which is covered with the liquid area, the water area which is present on the earth is hydrosphere. Hydrosphere. Complete water part will come under the hydrosphere. And this is one of the main basic need for the human world. And nextly, atmosphere. Atmosphere, third one. That means the weather which is surrounded around the earth. This is the atmosphere which is around the earth. The atmosphere is the weather, climate, rain or the air which is flowing, winds. All these will come under the atmosphere. Atmosphere means the oxygen which is mixed into the earth. Which is mixed in the surrounding atmosphere of the earth. Atmosphere means mostly oxygen, O2. And this is which is very useful for our daily life or our life. The life which is living on the earth needs first of all water and oxygen. That means oxygen from the atmosphere, water from the hydrosphere, and the living part from the lithosphere. So coming to the biosphere. Biosphere means bio. It is also the Greek word which is called as life. Bio means life. Before ancient days, there are so many people thought that early humans are the first people who are getting life on the earth. But actually, before the early humans, from the ancient days only, water bodies are present. So firstly, there is a life in the ocean. There is a animal which got the life in the ocean. That is the first life on the earth, which got the life. So after that life, from that going on, from that the improvement of the life becoming, then early humans, after the plants, animals all came on the earth. From one life, there are so many lives became and created on the earth. So bio means life. The life which is living on the earth needs the living place. That means lithosphere. Hydrosphere. That means water. Complete water facilities. Thirdly, atmosphere to breathe, and a good atmosphere to live. So these three, biosphere is dependent on these three parts. So finally, these are the layers. These are the layers, 4 layers. So the biosphere is the life on the earth depends upon these three layers. Sphere means the shape of the earth. Sphere. Okay. So this is the layers of the earth. Invention of the continental draft. Who is the geographist invented the continental draft means Alfred Wegener. So this is the topic of this part 2. So in this topic we have discussed evolution of the earth, movements of the earth, parts of the earth, layers of the earth. All these things we have discussed. Each and every point you have to note in your book and prepare every point and attempt the exams very well. Thank you.